In 2003, J-Lo faced significant media scrutiny that led to her being labeled as rude. Her highly publicized relationship with Ben Affleck attracted intense media attraction, with the displays of PDA that seemed excessive. J-Lo also starred in the movie Giggly alongside Ben, which failed. Nobody liked it. Reports of her being difficult to work with and having excessive demands contributed to her diva image. Based on various reports and rumors over the years, J-Lo has faced accusations of demanding behavior. Such demands include all-white dressing rooms, specific brands of water bottle, and elaborate floral arrangements. There have also been allegations of her being rude and dismissive towards staff members, including assistants and makeup artists. Here's a clip from a podcast where a dancer claims that she had an interaction with J-Lo during an audition time where, auditions are tough. They take a long time. It's exhausting, but J-Lo wasn't friendly or forgiving.
Jennifer Lopez held an audition for dancers for one of her tours. Most of the time, a dance audition, you're not getting paid. You've been there since 10 a.m. and you're auditioning until 6 p.m.
Well, it's like stand-up, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not getting paid. Yeah, exactly. You don't get any money.
I love working for free!
Yes, people judging you the whole time. She walks in the room and she said, thank you so much. You guys have worked so hard. By a show of hands, if there are any Virgos in the room, can you just raise your hand? So a bunch of Virgos raised their hand.
And she shot them on sight.
Shot them on sight. Savannah, Georgia.
What did she do? Did they have to leave?
She whispered to her assistant. No. She looked at them and she said, thank you so much for coming.
Get out of here!
Could you guys imagine being in a professional setting, having someone ask you your zodiac sign and then leave the room because of that? I mean, I would be that person. I mean, I know I'm a Sagittarius, but I'd be like, wait, why? How do you even calculate that? I mean, what if people just don't even know what that means and you're just going to kick them out because of it? It's very weird behavior. And there's a lot of these instances and examples going viral on TikTok of people having terrible interactions with this woman.
2 stories about Jennifer Lopez being an awful human being. So number one, when she has drivers, the number one rule she has for them is they can't look at her, they can't talk to her, and her luggage is never allowed to touch the ground. If any of those things happen, she will go out of her way to make sure you get fired. And I know this because my dad worked for that driving company, and he refused to drive her whenever she came in town because of how awful she treated the drivers. Second story, she was with Ben, I believe at MGM or whichever casino, and Ben's a great tipper and he respects service workers, and so he tipped a lot of people a lot of money that night. Jennifer goes around to each of those people and takes back the tip and gives them maybe $5-10, maybe. She is an awful person.
I'm always an over tipper. I can't imagine going back and then taking back money when you have billions and millions of dollars. Music, and she thinks it's unfair to share the stage with Shakira, who is undeniably so talented. Jennifer admitting that she thought it was the worst idea in the world. Really? That's the worst idea you have? We've now learned that Jennifer was frustrated with the organizers for giving her and Shakira the same amount of time, saying that she somehow deserves more than what Shakira has, which I think is pretty... I mean, she needs to be humbled. So I'm glad the NFL humbled her.
Have to have our singing moments. It's not going to be a dance review.
Right. So,
like, we have to sing our message. This was the worst idea in the world to have 2 people do the Super Bowl. It was the worst idea.
A lot of fans reacted accordingly, saying that J-Lo was entitled, that she had an attitude. This person tweeted, "This is so ridiculous. Shakira is the bigger star. Jennifer just doesn't know this or pretends not to." Both artists shared promotional photos for their performances, and you guys can note that in Shakira's picture, they have both J-Lo and Shakira featured, and in J-Lo's picture, she's bitter and did not include Shakira at all. Again, trying to make it seem like it's solo performance. No, J-Lo, you're not getting your solo performance. I actually went to her movie premiere, the This Is Me Now, where she had a bunch of music videos and things like that, and Ben and J-Lo were actually there, so I was in the same room as them. In the moment, I didn't realize how big of a flop it was going to be, but it was major. I mean, to the point where it destroyed her relationship. In one scene, Jennifer is posing in the mirror of her personal gym as she shakes out her hair and reminisces about her childhood in the Bronx, saying, "I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me of when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block, just this crazy girl who used to be wild with no limits, all dreams." And it all sounds good on paper, but it also it reads really phony because we know this isn't who J-Lo is.
Like taking my hair out like this, it reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. A crazy little girl who used to be wild and No limits, all dreams and
Live here. Huh? I used to live here. Huh? My name is Jennifer. Jennifer? Yeah, I used to live and my room was upstairs right there.
She still got her beauty, her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him. Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is what...
That is not part of the script.
The level of delusion is just next level. Fans began to unearth more unsavory revelations in old interviews. One from Vogue in 2022, Jennifer was asked about her upbringing in the Bronx, and she revealed what her order was, which is ham and cheese on a roll with the orange drink. If you know, you know. But of course, TikTok did not know. We did not know this one, J-Lo. I think it's so funny how people trolled her and it blew up. It also led to more viral moments of J-Lo going to the home where she was raised and people just not knowing who she is. So is she really Jenny from the block if the block has no idea who you are?
The Bronx doesn't like J-Lo. And growing up here, I always heard people call her a sellout. Now, I'm indifferent to J-Lo, but I can kind of see why. Because anytime she mentions or comes to the Bronx, it's to sell something. She came to Bay Plaza to promote this last film. She did that free concert at Chocha to promote her AKA album. And allegedly, when her middle school Holy Cross asked her for a donation to build a basketball court because the kids were playing basketball on the street, she said no. Allegedly, her Catholic high school, Preston, also reached out for donations and she said no. And so from what I've seen growing up is that people feel like she only talks about the Bronx when she has to make money off of it. And that's fine, but the bigger problem is that she doesn't give back to the community that she benefits from. And it comes across as very gimmicky. And you know what really makes it worse? Is that she talks about being from the block, being from the Bronx, but then when she went to visit her home, the new owner didn't even know who she was. I just can't believe her team let her release that. And what makes it even more worse is that people from her neighborhood in Castle Hill actually have called her out in the past. Now maybe she does silently donate or gives back in other ways. We'll never know, and I actually don't think it matters if she tells us at this point, because that stereotype has been cemented, and I think it's far too late for her to make it better.
This person wrote, she completely misread the room with her documentary. This person wrote the whole 3-part project. We didn't need an album, a visual, and a documentary about the visual. I also think the documentary exposed Ben's discomfort with putting their private moments out for public consumption. Her need to share it was more important than his feelings.
Jen was really inspired by this experience, which is how artists do their work. They get inspired, their personal life, it moves you. I know as a writer, a director, like I certainly do the same things. But things that are private, I had always felt, are sacred and special because, in part, they're private. So this was something of an adjustment for me.
Oh, thanks for calling. Albert, this is my concern. Like it feels too much like you're trying to prove something instead of just living it.
I think you guys all get the gist that this documentary resulted in backlash. It just made it seem like J-Lo was trying so hard to be someone who she clearly is not. Since the documentary has been released, many creators have claimed to get copyright strikes or reported for their negative videos about the documentary, which furthered the J-Lo hate. I have a throwback TikTok from Kyle, who used to be on TikTok until she unfortunately passed away. She will be missed, and she spoke a lot about J-Lo. Actually, a lot of people had rumors about her passing and J-Lo, and I'm not even going to go there because there's no room for speculation here. She can rest in peace, but here, I mean, her receipts live on. The work that she did was chef's kiss. Like, she was excellent. She is so missed, and here is a throwback TikTok that she made.
I have a problem, and that is that J-Lo copyright claimed all of us, myself included, got my account banned. I think that was it, because she didn't like the fact that we were using clips from her narcissistic venture, her cosplay of an Eras Tour film. I don't know what the that is, to point out all of the lies and narcissistic attributes that, you know, she has. So a lot of your favorite creators might be gone because of that.
There's something really sketchy when it comes to J-Lo that it makes me like kind of want to take a step back maybe after this podcast episode.
J. Lulu's team has officially hired bots to dispel her being a menace to waiters, all of that. Well, I work at the restaurant where I had dinner today. She was very regal. I had the honor of presenting her salad. This is some name. Another name. Well, I work at the restaurant where I had dinner today. She was very regal. I had the honor of preparing her salad.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some more of her shady moments, maybe a little bit more lighthearted. Here are a few where she was with Andy Cohen and Jennifer's just being Jennifer.
Vegas for one night and could only see one show, would you rather see Mariah or Britney?
Oh, we already know.
Britney, because she dances.
For your Vegas
Britney
show
because she
premiere,
dances.
Yes.
you saw Britney's show, you saw Shania, you saw Celine, you saw Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, he's asking about Mariah because we know she doesn't like Mariah.
No Mariah.
I'll tell you
And
why.
during the Billboard Music Awards, you were caught texting during Mariah's performance.
That's it.
She was caught texting during Mariah's performance because she could care less. Also, we always get copyrighted by Andy Cohen, so.
Jay-Z's new streaming service?
No, I did not.
He's got this new streaming service, and artists are
Look at her just trying to move on.
Artists.
Okay.
You think you would want to be a piece of that? If you look at
She says that she could tell there was a divaness coming out of J-Lo very early as the women very much complained about her behavior. She was getting, bad looks, side eyes from them about a lot of things.
If you had to say what your type
I mean,
of man
it's been a theme.
Okay.
what would you say your type is?
As far as like type-wise, like look and everything, I'm not like a looks person. I don't know if you noticed over the years.
Oh, interesting. I mean, well, Ben Affleck always looks miserable. So maybe she likes the miserable look.
This is the OG right here. Before Kim Kardashian, before Nicki Minaj, before Beyonce, you like the original great ass.
There's only one Coca-Cola, baby.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.